A lot has changed since my last guest was seen on the One Championship stage, but on Friday, March 1st, he returns once again, this time to defend his strawweight title against the man he won it from in Joshua Pacio. He is the monkey god, Jared Brooks. How's it going today, Jared?
Good, man. Just got done doing the press conference. Did a lot of PR work today, and I'm glad to be on your show, brother.
Appreciate it. And you owned that press conference, by the way, too. Like, I mean, it was 8 a.m. stateside, but you were obviously well adjusted to the time zone over there, high energy, and once the mic came to you, you just rolled with the show. But
100%. They didn't want to give me that mic. They didn't want me to lead that show. They wanted Malikin to lead that show, or they wanted Joshua Pacio to just keep quiet the whole time like he usually is.
and you ran with it, so
Thank
worked out in your favor. Last time out though, you were in the One Championship ring against good old Mikey Musumeci. Didn't go your way, but you had to try. You had to go for that title and try to get that win. How'd that come into play? And were there any plans for an MMA fight last year?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to fight 3 times in 2023, but it was very Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu heavy in one championship, which I don't blame them. Uh, Muay Thai is on the cups of being one of the biggest combat sports in all of mixed martial arts, as well as jiu-jitsu. While Ty Rotullo and his brother and Mikey, they are the front runners of jiu-jitsu in combat sports as well. So I wanted to have the opportunity to show that I'm not just a mixed martial artist, that I can actually go in and go against some of the best. And I think I did a good job, man. As far as going against the GOAT in submission grappling, I lasted 7.5 minutes, and it was kind of a weird turnout of how it finished. The ref kind of pulled me into an armbar, but I'm not saying that Mikey couldn't finish me any day of the week, because Mikey finishes everybody, and I'm just glad that I came out of that battle unscathed. I did get dominated. He did get my back. It was a hard performance, and it was a hard pill to swallow to lose, because I don't like losing in anything. But I think One Championship for giving me that opportunity.
And your record states that you don't like losing. I mean, there's only two in that column. Let's keep it that way.
Hundred
But
percent.
victory didn't come out last time, but you did get a victory later that year, or I guess last year technically.
Yeah.
You welcomed your daughter. Congratulations. Going through your posts on like Facebook and Instagram, you can tell this is a new Jared Brooks. This is dad power Jared Brooks. Has that fueled your hunger to get even more to get one of those $50,000 bonuses?
100%. Throughout my training, all of my coaches, I want to thank my coaches for really pushing me this camp. And they, I really didn't work out too much the last time that I fought Pastiao. So I think that this is just going to be a more definitive performance, and to put a lot more stuff in my baby daughter's pockets.
That's beautiful, honestly. And determining that 50,000 bonus is the rematch with Joshua, a fight that you stated wasn't just. It's not even just you versus him; it's you versus the Philippines. That was from today's press conference. Another one that stood out to me. After the initial fight, Joshua kind of mentioned he wasn't 100% there for that fight. Something that every fighter has experienced at some point in their career, be it an injury or even the mental preparedness. Are you anticipating an actual a better Passio in this fight versus the last time?
Yeah, I am. I think that he's worked a lot more on his conditioning, and I think that he's trying to work on his weight loss regimen and the way that he eats. I study him, and I study his whole team, just like I did Team LeKay. But at the same time, there's a year and a half difference. He fought like 4 months ago, and I didn't see simultaneously how he changed in his last bout. It looked like he got just as tired in 3 rounds, and he had issues with the wrestling still. He defended my takedowns really well, but it led me to being able to show my other skills and my other assets that I've been working on my whole life. And it's like, if you get past my wrestling, then well, there's other things that you have to worry about, and I proved that December 3rd of last year. But I've had a year and a half to get better as well, and I think that I've gotten substantially better compared to where Joshua Pacio is. And my conditioning has never been an issue. The only time that it has been is when I had a staph infection when I went against Hiroba Minowa. And nobody knows that, but I had staph, and it was really hard to get off of those antibiotics. And it really messes with your lungs too. I had like a little bit of pneumonia, so, and I'm not making excuses. I mean, I think I dominated Hiroba, but my gas tank can last forever. And good luck, Joshua, for this upcoming bout, because I'm coming in for the kill. I got a daughter to feed now, brother.
So you just answered my next question. I was going to say, should we expect it there to Jared Brooks? You already nailed it. You said yes. You've been training for 18 months already for this one. But more importantly, how do you see this one going compared to the last one then?
I think that he's just been working a lot more on his boxing and his footwork, because I danced circles around him last time and he was just trying to play catch up. But I'm a lot faster than him. I don't really cut weight, so I think that that's a big definitive thing in this fight. And my boxing was better than his last time, and I was catching his kicks into getting him on the ground. So when I do get him up against the fence, I think that going to the upper body is going to help me a lot more get him to the ground. And I think I'm going to sub him in the second round.
I wanted to touch a little bit on like the mental aspects of the sport because of the statements that he made post fight. You're coming into your 37th MMA bout. That includes your amateur career. 37 is like two people's careers as a whole. Have you found anything that in your own mental preparedness that have changed over those times?
It's all about adjustments in mixed martial arts. So, your attitude, it can adjust as far as your physicality and the way that you portray your mixed martial arts as well. I like to think of it like an art. So, your art doesn't really change. It's more of how you adjust your art to make it better. So, I've made the right adjustments, and I'm ready to prove that March 1st.
Nice. And then, as far as a career legacy as well, you're only 30 years old. You've already stated you still have 6 or 7 more years. So that 37 count number, I can't wait to see where that is in 6 or 7 years. But outside of wanting to face someone like, Demetrius Johnson, I know you called him out, you've been blocked. Let's make it happen if it happens, Mighty. Come on. Are there any other legacy goals you have in the sport?
I would. I just want to fight the best, and I just want the recognition that I've actually worked for in this fight game, because the fight game doesn't love you as much as you love the fight game. So if I could get that love back, man, that would really mean a lot to me, because I've worked a lot, and I don't think people understand what it takes to actually be a mixed martial artist and a world champion. I've worked really hard, and I get kicked in the nuts every day, bro. Literally every day in training, and I think that I deserve more recognition than what I'm actually getting. So the 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 route that I want to take is just building a bigger fan base, and I think that I deserve that, bro. I put myself out on the line every time. I talk shit. I I put myself out there, not like other fighters in one championship. At least, the UFC, they do that, but they kind of do it in like a fake aspect of a way. I'm myself out there when I'm actually talking shit. So I'm two different people inside and outside of the circle, but yeah, I just think that the recognition. I already have the money. I already have all my goals. I just want recognition.
I want to touch on something that you just kind of touched on too. Like there is differences obviously between like the one championship athletes and the UFC athletes of today. Um, the one championship athletes are martial artists. There's respect. We're not doing WWE promos to sell fights. And even when there is that little aspect of like, calling out or playing the mic game, there's still that respect level there. As proven today at the press conference, like you mouthed off, but it was still like you weren't bashing his family, religion, anything else that happens on the other promotion. Um, does that stand out to you as like another reason why you wanted to be in one, or does that mean
No,
anything?
it wasn't that. It was just a major promotion that I could put myself on, and I thought it was a great fit in the way, because I mean, I'm a small fighter. I'm 125 pounds, and in the Asian market, the 125-pound division is huge. And I think, and I believe when I said that me and Joshua Pacio are actually the main event of this card. And Anatoly Malikin and De Ritter, they're great fighters. I think that he could actually be the one of the biggest stars in the United States if they allow him to come to the United States and fight. He's like Hulk. He just has to say like two words like "I smash," and it's like you believe him because he does knock people the fuck out. So, but at the same time, well known people like Joshua Pacio, and Filipinos are everywhere. So I want to take his Filipino fans, even though I broke their heart the first time. I think that I could steal their hearts the second time.
So, last question on my end. There's one thing I've learned about fighters, getting to know them through interviews, in person, and so on. And there's one thing you all share in common, and it's sacrifice. You sacrifice your time, your relationships, your bodies, and more importantly, your health. All for this crazy fucking sport we all love. Like, it's no one else is doing this because, you need to have a certain thing in you to be a fighter. Coming up on 14 years competing in the sport, how does adding a daughter now alongside reshape your whole perspective of the journey?
It's just the way you think about it, man. I'm like I said, I'm a completely different person inside of the ring, and when I'm in fight week and getting prepared for a fight, compared to when I'm home, I'm almost a feminine person. I love hanging out with my girlfriend, and I love hanging out with my daughter, and I'm not a masculine figure when I'm at home, right? But at the same time, I do protect my family, and I do support my family, and I do all the things that a man should do for his family. But I'm not like a typical guy to where I'm just like, hey, I run things, I do everything like that. I let my girlfriend run things around the house as well, and I love cuddling my daughter. I love feeding my daughter. That's what I mean by feminine. I treat her with I treat my girlfriend with the utmost respect, and I never want to disrespect her or her family. So like I said, but when I'm in fight week, man, I don't like to talk to anybody from my family because I just like to get into a different mode, into a different aspect, and that was me when I was, you know, from 8 years old to 16 years old. I'm a savage at the end of the day, and it shows when I do get inside of the circle. But yeah, when I'm home with my family, I'm a family guy, and I love to hang out with my family and love them to my fullest capability.
That's also the perfect yin yang. When to flip the switch. But there are a few things that make those sacrifices a little easier to maintain. That's your sponsors and supporters. Be it someone financially or even just letting you know like, hey, we have your back. I want to pass the mic to you to kind of give those shout outs and the roses they deserve, and then we'll wrap it up afterwards. Mike's all yours.
My number one supporter that I have had since 2016 is my coach, James Lee. He's given me $6,000 to get a new car, and I'd pay him back after my fights and stuff like that. And he he's been my number one supporter besides my family and my dad. But in this fight, I want to thank Keo and Sons Electric. They're from my hometown. Tom Keo, I grew up with him. Is an amazing supporter, and I love him to death. I want to thank Mark Asmer. Thank you so much, bro. You definitely helped me get through that little hump before I got here. And I want to thank Rax Electric as well. They're in Indianapolis. They're an electric company. They helped as well. Bad Boy Jail Bonds. Um, if I'm missing anybody, I am so sorry. Um, Man. But yeah, thank you so much to all of my sponsors. If I missed anybody, I will make sure that I hit you up after the fight and make sure you get your call outs in due time. Yeah, I just really appreciate everybody that has been rocking with me and actually believes in me and believes in the Monkey God brand. Hopefully we get this Demetrius Johnson fight, and I can prove to people how good I actually am. I understand I'm in the strawweight division, and I'm already the best at that, and it hasn't given me the traction that I needed. But a lot of people hate me in this sport, and I love that because it's just going to keep on giving me opportunities and more things to be subjected to into one championship. So thank you to all of my supporters. Thank you to all my sponsors. Thank you to my coaches, Johnny Glove, Guy Monarch, Justice Goggins, Alex Hody, Olive Roots Combat Club, James Lee, Kara Rowe. I got so many coaches, man. Métis. Yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys are the best, and I wouldn't be shit without you.
Awesome. And then this Friday, rematch goes down. Monkey God Jarrett Brooks versus Joshua Pacio 2 for the ONE Championship strawweight title. The main event, if you ask this man on the screen with me, out of all 3 title fights. This card streams on Amazon Prime in the US and Canada for subscribers. Best of skill, Jarrett, and go get the $50,000.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. Make sure you guys follow my dog.